Welcome to KMET 1490 AM ABC News Radio and the Southern California Business Report, a show dedicated to highlighting successful Southern California businesses and the people behind them, with Daryl McCance and Yvette Walker. And now, here's Daryl and Yvette.
Yeah, so Rob, if you could give us a little background on your prior to founding the Moonshine Lamp Company, so we can kind of give the audience a little taste of your background and how you got yourself ready for this endeavor, and then we'll jump right into what exactly Moonshine Lamp Company is and what products you're manufacturing right here in Southern California. And I'm really excited about it. I've been looking forward to this. I've been talking to Yvette. I said, this is really the example of an awe-inspiring sole proprietor. So if you could share with everybody your background, Rob, prior to founding Moonshine Lamp Company, give us a little background.
Well, it all started a bunch of years ago when I entered the film industry here in Southern California. And one of my first big movies was Pulp Fiction. And on the first day of shooting, I was a pretty green lighting technician, and I was handed a briefcase and a bunch of batteries and some weird lights, and I was told to put it all together so that when you open the briefcase, the thing would light up. And a pretty green lighting technician, and I was handed a briefcase and a bunch of batteries and some weird lights, and I was told to put it all together so that when you open the briefcase, the thing would light up. And
Hey, Rob, do me a favor. Just back away from the microphone just a bit.
Okay. Is that better?
That's
better.
That? Okay, so you say okay, go right in. I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
No problem. So, they handed me all this weird stuff. We didn't know necessarily what it was for. And it turns out we handed it to Sam Jackson, and he brought it into the diner with John Travolta, and they opened it up, and this beam of light came out, and the rest was history. But I spent the next 20 years in the movie business doing all kinds of crazy things. And one answer you never give anyone in the movie industry is the word no. So if someone asks you if you can do something, you say yes, whether you can or not, and then you figure it out later. So after 20 years...
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so after 20 years of doing that...
That's Richard Branson's philosophy, right? Say yes, you can do it, figure out how to do it later. I like it.
That's it. That's the way you always had to do it, and be creative. When you're working on television commercials, you have 30 seconds to make a point. And in movies, people are a captive audience in a chair watching a movie. They have nothing else but their mind to jump in and experience this emotional ride through a story. So every visual cue has to be perfect. It has to be right on. It has to sell it. So that's what I learned to do, and watching the set designers and all the creative people making things and doing things all for the cinema was what taught me everything that I've applied to my current business. And the one thing that I didn't like were the hours. And after 20 years of doing it and coming home super late at night and losing weekends and losing sleep, I just said I just can't roll with this anymore. So I took what I learned, and I opened up my own lighting company, adding a theatrical element to custom lighting design. I saw that someone had taken a bottle, and they cut the bottom off, and they stuck a light socket in it and hung it up with a light bulb, and there it was. I was fascinated with it. So I said, I think I could do that.
Rob, it's easy to see how incredibly successful your company, Moonshine, has been now. In hearing about your background in the film industry speaks to that. Knowing that you have that sensitivity of using light to set a tone, to create an atmosphere, a feeling, a sensation that I'm sure a lot of your consumers want to create within their own spaces. And attention to those cinematic details and dramatic designs that you have are just beautifully married together in your products. And the way I would describe them when I was reviewing your website is, the range is so beautiful. So I saw some pieces that were completely raw, extremely rustic, a nod to the Industrial Revolution, to beautifully refined, repeating clean lines that remind me of Art Deco. So what is your process for creating the designs that you create? Is it more internal, or is it external from what your clients are looking for?
Actually, a lot of my products come from suggestions from customers. So they'll see something, and then they'll say, I love what you did here, but can you do something like this? And some artists would be offended by that. But I figured, well, you know, that's all part of the fun to me, is making it a communal effort. And the customers just love that. They love participating in the process, and that's part of what has made my company successful. So if you can make it fun and cool and add some decor and design and a good feel to someone's home or their restaurant or their bar or their hotel, then you win.